Hi Cancer, this is Mary with Sayre Seer, and this is a reading for July and forward, or it can also be a little bit backwards. The energies carry, everybody's on different timelines, is what I'm trying to say. But it's basically for the retrograde in July, the retrogrades in July, and the eclipses. So these bring in a lot of introspection and changes within us and everything, the structures, all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of like a wild card, many wild cards going on right now. So we're going to start with these two cards are from this Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. They're really cool, and it's by Kyle Gray. It's new, okay? So this is the wise one, and this means going within your current situation to see what the lesson is. This is tapping into your soul to try to understand, to see beyond just the surface of what's going on, okay? And then we have the Hunter here. So this is the past, present. This is the present, future, okay? Okay, the Hunter, track down your fears and desires, okay? And so this is about facing your fears head on, because at the other side of your fears is the things you desire most, or the happiness you seek, okay? And I know it's so simple, but you don't really think of it that way, right? So we're going to start here with the past. This is a past to the present, right? So here we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and this is basically unhappiness within the family. It could be that rules are not being followed, like the parents are trying to the children are doing what the parents want, and they don't, kind of like the generation gap thing, right? And then or it could be arguments over money or property or that kind of thing. And so it's causing kind of chaos or unsettledness in families. It could also be, and so this one is a Five of Pentacles. This could be somebody being shut out, somebody having to move, or it could be somebody losing their job. It's a financial loss usually. All right, and so this is the Eight of Cups, and this is, you see how she's walking away from these cups of love. Sorry. So she may be thinking about leaving, or maybe have already left, but basically her emotions, this person's emotions, have already kind of disconnected because of what's going on in this relationship or this home, okay? And now we have the Lovers. And the Lovers is, I think it's interesting, this guy's being bitten by a snake while he's holding her. And she has no idea there's a snake there. And then you have the Moon up here blowing in on somebody, on him. Anyway, so Lovers card kind of shows us that a decision may need to be made. What we're going to do about this relationship. Okay? So the Wise one, she's, I think they were saying in the pagan religion or beliefs, this is the crone. So this is the all knowledgeable one. So growing within your current situation, this means that it's hard. It's hard. This is a hard situation. But, and you wonder, why is all this happening? There may be growth that's needed. Because it's gotten to the point where it can no longer go the same way. There's too much going on. A decision has to be made, basically. So try to keep in mind that it may be because there's some growth that needs to take place. Okay? And I know that's not what we want to hear. I know it's not. It's not the why we want to hear, right? Okay, so we're going to go here now. So now somebody in this whole situation, now this is the present to future, is going to have to leave the situation and they won't have a choice. So this is a forced separation. It could be, an illness. It could be rehab, or, maybe somebody going, I don't really see prison information, but all of those things give you an idea of somebody being forced to leave, okay? All right. Now, and this is a hard one. I truly apologize for what you're going through. And now we have the Five of Swords. So there has been a battle here, and all is not lost. There's still two swords down here. Okay, but there was casualties and there was a loss. But what you're being asked to do, or somebody in the situation, is retreat. Just retreat, and to stop the arguments, to stop engaging, because that's not going to be productive at all, okay? And the same thing here with the Ten of Swords. This is the end of the cycle, the end of this part of the cycle of dishonesty, and it could be from a group of people, it could be, but it's painful, and this person is, it's like, I'm so done. You're at the point where you're done, right? Okay, so now we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is a secret sometimes, but she's also higher knowledge. She's also the psychic ability. So let me just run something by you. And some situations are created to help us grow, because we wouldn't have grown otherwise. So if you are somewhere where you can't find the truth, but you're asked to go within because your soul knows the truth, and you connect with that higher part of yourself, you may find the truth. And once you connect, make that connection with your soul and with your ancestors, okay, and with your guides, that's something that could never be taken from you. You always have that. So the next time, maybe you might have gotten warnings here. You just want to see it. Okay. So here's the question. Usually we get warnings, but I'm not judging. I'm not saying that that's the case here. You can take part of it, all of it. Not all the information resonates with everyone. So anyway, so if you did have warnings and you knew something was wrong, or you felt like something, maybe you weren't completely happy anyway because of arguing, and maybe things weren't equal, in how the household was being run, or maybe, stuff like that. Why, if you kind of felt like it was coming, sometimes the reasons why we stay in situations is what I'm trying to say without being harsh. So the Hunter here is asking you to think about the reasons that you didn't face this before, if you knew. And if you're having trouble, facing it straight on, why? What are you fearing? Okay, here's just some examples, okay? Based on the information here, okay, is it because you're afraid of being alone? Is it because you're afraid you can't buy another house, that you'll lose property? Is it because you arguing on who's going to take care of the children? The biggest thing is to disengage with the arguing. That's a big sign right now. But you still need to face what you're afraid of. What are you really afraid of? Because on the other side of that is your happiness. Think about what you say every day. Maybe if I would do this if I wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? And this is not what I thought it was going to be in the beginning. But the wise one asks us to go within to see what. It's not just about what other people are doing to us. It's about our inability to act or see it. I'm not saying that you're responsible for other people's actions. No. But why? How did I end up here? That's a question. And what can I learn from this? How can I tap into the information with the High Priestess and the Wise One? And this is not a card about running around and trying to fill your time or space with someone else, because you can't find the answers there. It's about, if you're afraid of being alone, be alone and face your fears. Okay? If you're afraid of speaking out and knowing the truth, maybe, you know, did this, whatever you think might have been going on that you don't really want to know, you should face that. Because you're going to keep creating it if you don't face it, typically, you know. But, so, this is a tough one, but there's always a reason. And I know you don't want to hear that. We don't ever want to hear that when we're going through tough times and we don't understand why other people do things. But we are still here. We are still in this situation. Why? Why? You know what I mean? Okay. And then what do you really, once you look at your fears, what do you really want? What are you putting off? You know? If some people are afraid to be on their own. I mean, a lot of women go through that. A lot of men go through that. So, facing your fear, what's the worst that can happen? That you won't be alone. What's the best that could happen? That you'll be completely and utterly happy and in charge of your own happiness, life, abundance, home, children. And you find the man or woman of your dreams, but they don't define you. It'll be like whipped cream on a sundae. It'll be something extra that's wonderful. Okay, here's just an extra card now. I speak with sincerity. So, going within to grow within your current situation, speaking with sincerity, what you really want. This is part of finding out who we really are also. Not somebody else's words, not what we were told we were supposed to be, but the real truth. And if we have children, it's good for them to see us grow and find our happiness. It gives them inspiration to be who they're supposed to be or who they want to be and not have to be like everyone else also. So, my thoughts are with you. I know it's hard. I know. Take care.